back to Awful Deco. I've been busy with fall markets, but now we're back with another video, and today we are going to be making another floral letter. And this is one of our new designs. We have real orange slices, white larkspurs, and ferns with some gold flakes. So I will show you exactly how I make this. Let's get started. We have our letter L frame, and we will be using resin tape to secure the letter and create a base for the resin to stay inside our letter L. This resin tape is from Amazon and it is 5 inches wide. This was the widest I could find for resin tape, so we will have to cut another small piece and double up to make sure the entire L is taped down. When dealing with such a large piece of tape, it's really hard to get the tape to be perfectly flat. Resin will take the form of the tape, which may turn out a little wonky if the tape is wonky, but that's okay. I do a clear coat for the back as well, so it will even out. There is a total of 3 layers that goes into my floral letters, and I will show you all the layers in this video. Once we have the size of tape that we need, press the tape against the wood to minimize the leaking underneath. I do get leakage with this tape, but since the wood is porous, it will soak up any resin that seeps from underneath. It's usually a small amount, so the resin rarely leaks out of the frame for me. I will include the link for this resin tape in the description for those of you who want to try out this tape for frames and bezels. Once we have the frame in place, let's start preparing the other things we need for the letter. For this specific letter L, I will be using orange slices, white larkspurs, green ferns, and gold flakes. All elements are real and dried, the flowers and the orange slices. The orange slices are quite large for this letter, so I will cut them down in half to work with. You can also see my little struggle as I try to figure out the layout. A little bit of gold flakes will go at the end to complete the piece. These ferns I purchased on Amazon, and it came in like a pack of 200. I was searching for dried flowers on Amazon and I found these. The white larkspurs I got on Etsy from the shop Nature's Pressed. I will try to link all the materials in the description, but sometimes I do get forgetful, so if you don't see it in the description, just leave a comment and I will answer you. As we were preparing the frame and flowers, I actually had my resin mixed up, and in my Resiner's Airless, this is like a little vacuum chamber that pulls bubbles out of the resin to reduce the amount of bubbles in our final pieces. I will show you how it works right now, but I also have a video discussing the airless and vacuum chamber on my channel, so if you're interested in learning more about how these removes bubbles from your resin, you can check out that video. Now, this vacuuming process does not work for all resins, but it does for my go-to resin, which is Totabolt's High Performance Resin. That is the resin that you see in this cup right now. I use it for my floral letters, smaller trays, coasters, pendants, and anything that's not too deep, since this resin only allows me to pour up to about 1/4 inch deep. I will include the link for the resin in my description if you want to try it out, and you will also get a discount code for your resin through my link. And you can see right now that the bubbles are slowly rising inside the chamber. This snippet was sped up about 4 times to save time, but the process shown in the video was about 5 minutes, and I leave it in the chamber for a total of 9 minutes. The airless has 2 settings, 5 minutes and 9 minutes. I've honestly been mixing so much faster than usual since I got this machine, not the slow and steady that I stressed so much about in previous videos, so I've been introducing a lot of micro bubbles when I mix. I need to leave my resin in there for 9 minutes to make sure it gets rid of more bubbles, or as much as it can. Once that's done, there will be some little bubbles at the surface, and I just pop that with my heat gun and we can create our floral letter. The second layer is a clear coat to fill the letter to the top. I already have my resin mixed up and vacuumed. It's the same Total Bolt high performance resin. I will be using this resin for the entire letter. For the first layer, I didn't fill the letter all the way to the top because flowers tend to float to the surface. The first layer is used to secure the flowers and oranges in place, and the second layer is where I will fill it to the top. I am slowly and carefully spreading the resin to the edge of the wood to make sure the entire frame is covered and the wood is also sealed in the resin. I try my best not to over pour here so the resin doesn't overflow and there's little cleanup after. I've left my piece untouched for 2 days to let the resin harden and cure a little bit longer. So resin can take up to 30 days to reach its maximum hardness. You should be able to find this on the datasheet from your supplier. Total Bolt has all the information you need on their website, so if you're using Total Bolt resin as well, check out their website. It's super helpful and has lots of information. We just peeled the tape off of our letter and you can see that we did get a spill in the middle of the L, so we will remove that first. I am using wire cutters to snip off the spill. Using some heat will also make it easier to come off, so I use my heat gun. It's the same heat gun that I use to pop bubbles when I make my pieces. I just wave the heat gun quickly over the spill and snip off the extra resin. Once that's cleaned up, we will prep for the top coat for the back. That's the part that was on the tape. For this step, we will apply a layer of Elmer's glue with a silicone brush to the front of the piece because we want to add a top coat to the back. Because the back was on the resin tape, it's not shiny and it has a slight texture due to the unevenness of the tape. Doing a clear coat over it will solve all of our problems. This glue layer will help protect the front of the piece from any resin drips that drips over the edge when we coat the back of the piece. This will save us a lot of time and energy not having to sand and polish at the end. We will be able to remove the tape and any drips will follow along after. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about once we finish pouring the top coat and letting it fully cure. The glue takes some time to dry, so this is the next day. When the glue is dried, it turns like a frosted clear as you can see here. And just to show you a close-up of what the back looks like, the spot where the two pieces of tape met and the uneven texture that I was talking about earlier, that's what we want to cover up in this step. I already have my resin mixed up. It is the same resin that we used in the first 2 layers, Total Bolt's high performance resin, the slow hardener version, and I vacuumed it in the bubble removing machine so it's very clear. I am pouring this layer like all the top coats that I've done. I pour a little bit of resin following the shape of my piece and then dragging the resin to the edge. I make sure the entire piece is covered, the wooden frame included, and I add more resin as I go if I need. Several days later, our top coat is fully cured. Let's take a look at what the front of the piece looks like, and you can see some of the drips that spilled over when we were doing our top coating. We are going to peel off the glue, just carefully peel it off. Sometimes I like to use a sharp tool to pick at it, but I don't want to ruin the front, so I'm just carefully peeling it off with my nails. And you can see that the resin drip just pops right off. Without this layer of glue protection, the resin drip would be stuck to the front of our piece and then we would have to sand and polish or do another top coat to the front. But this glue is a lifesaver because now look at the piece. We're pretty much done. There are no drips to the actual piece itself and our letter L is completely shiny front and back. You can see straight through to my hand holding the piece in the back and it's so clear. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed making this letter L with me. If you did, please like and subscribe. It would really help my channel out a lot. And if you want to customize a letter yourself, you can do so on my website, in my shop at ellaflow.com. You can choose all 26 letters, and I've been working on a lot of new floral designs as well. You can check out my Instagram to see what other options you can have for custom letters. And I'll be doing some more Christmas stuff coming up since that's coming soon. So stay tuned for that and I'll see you next time.